UFO'S podcast.
And welcome to the podcast. You're laying in bed. All the familiar sounds of your room, familiar sights, smells. Your subconscious picks up on some things that brings you awake. There's a faint blue light permeating into your room. You're not sure where it's coming from. You can't see anything else but this light, and you can't move. You can't scream, you can't yell. Suddenly, you're aware of some beings in your room. 2 or 3, maybe 4, you're not sure. You can't see all around you. You're also aware that they're surrounded you, that they have picked you up or levitated you in some way and are moving you through this blue light. The next thing you remember, you're on a cold slab of some sort of metal in a craft, surrounded by these beings that are doing things to you, testing on you, poking you, prodding you. As it was in your room, you still cannot move, you can't scream, all you can do is think. Who are they? What do they want? How the hell did I get here? How can I get out of here? You're totally unaware of how long you've been gone, how long you've been in this craft, how long you'll be gone. Seems like an eternity on the slab. These things are not communicating with me. They're just staring at me with these black eyes, sticking things in me, in my eyes, ears, up my nose, in my navel, painfully prodding, painfully testing. Who are they? What do they want? Are they just studying us? Are we like cattle? Are we pets? Are we a lab experiment? The next thing you remember, you're back in your bed, and as if nothing ever happened, as if you really don't remember it at all. Very interesting. The only way you do kind of remember what happened is because there's marks left on you. Strange marks, puncture wounds, implants. You don't know where these things come from. You ask your friends about missing time and maybe some hypnotherapy or talking to somebody about this. Finally, you get into some hypnotherapy. The regression is terrifying. You're totally aware now that you have been abducted. And you're also aware that it is probably not the first time. And it won't be the last. Usually when they abduct people, they keep abducting the same people. Sometimes all from the same family, different people from the same families. Sometimes multi-generational. It's terrifying to think that you can just be taken from your bed in your sleep, taken from your home while you rest, taken to space, taken to be tested on. Our government knows about these abductions, I believe. I believe our government probably has a deal. Ask Ike. He was said to have had multi-meetings with extraterrestrials. The abduction started way back, a long time ago. But I think in our culture, the first time that we heard about any type of abductions, it was Betty and Barney Hill is the most famous story, I believe. With that story, Betty Hill told that story up until she was a very old woman, and her story never changed one iota, not 1 second, not one detail. Firm believer in that story, and a firm believer in what happened to them. As I've stated before, I don't know why these aliens are abducting us, and I don't know even if we have our government, or those in power have made a deal of some sort to where that these aliens can, round up a few hundred of us a year and do their testing and genetic experimentations on us. And the government turns a blind eye to it. In return, we get some alien technologies. Let's think about this. Let's think about the jump in technology from, let's just think about from 1970 till the year 2007. Think about the huge leap in technology, not only just from that span of time, but if you just go in 10-year increments, so 70 to 80, the advent of microwave ovens, from VHS to audio to cassette tapes to, digital audio cassettes to CDs to DVDs to all the way up to now we have 5G. And if that ain't some alien shit, I don't know what is. But, just like in Star Trek, when I was a kid, we all wanted the communicators. Well, we have them. They're right here in our hand. Our own personal communicators. So, they won't let us have the phasers yet, so. Well, my story is about alien abductions and UFOs, and there's plenty of sightings all over the world of UFOs, plenty of pictures. It's really arrogant to think that we would be the only ones in this vast universe that has any sort of intelligence. That's not even feasible to say. The universe is ever expanding, and as it ever expands, I believe that it's dropped life in different time zones through the universe, in different dimensions, in different galaxies, and who's to say where we are located at on the edge of that Big Bang, after it happened. Where did we get developed in that frame of time? We don't know. We don't know where we are in the expanse exactly. We just know what we call it. We are here. We have a big map with a little red dot. We are here. But that's just because that's all we can see is our galaxy, our solar system. We can't get past that yet, supposedly. But my theory is the government's not telling us everything. They may very well be traveling to other galaxies, other dimensions, other realities, and not spilling the beans to us, the sheep, the common folk. Why? They may say it's to protect us from panic. They may say it's to protect us from ourselves. Total bullshit as far as I'm concerned. The only thing that they're protecting is their best interests. What would it be like if alien technology was discovered that was like a free energy source? I mean, if you think about that, all our carbon-based, coal-based, petroleum-based fuel systems would grind to a halt, and so would our economy, because if it was free energy, anybody could use it. So there's all sorts of ways the government may want to and may keep this kind of secret. You know, there's higher ups than the government people. You know, there are people who police our government, the ones who make the rules of the universe. So yeah, aliens, UFOs, definitely. It happens. They exist. You know, you might not even be aware that you have been abducted if you've never been through hypno-regression therapy, you know. So there's a very famous case in Alaska where there were dozens of people who were abducted over a period of time, and they based a movie off from that. Anyways, you know, how can it not be real? How can so many reports of aliens all come to the same descriptions, the same conclusions? There's things out there, man, that just cannot be explained. If you ever run across these things, you can always send your stories to the Anonymous John Podcast at gmail.com. That's right, the Anonymous John Podcast at gmail.com. Send me your stories. You know, I'll discuss them. I'll read them. I won't give you up. I'll just tell them. Okay? This is the Anonymous John, and that's my story for the evening. Sleep well, everybody. I don't know, you might want to keep the lights on and tether your ankle to your bed or something.